Hello, good evening and welcome to the Kazam Stadium in Oxford for Oxford United against Newcastle United, a game that really does promise to be an absolute cracker here at the Kazam Stadium. I always said I won't make it to Oxford one day. I didn't think it'd be at a football ground, but never mind. Anyway, Newcastle, good evening, and just before we continue, Newcastle, thank you for your fantastic appraisal of my channel. I'm glad that you and your father and so many members of your family are enjoying what I cook up as regards the content and everything else. It's marvellous to see, and I just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for that. Of course, Trevor Sports is streaming his own version of the FA Cup now. We'll take a look at that later, but the teams are out in the tunnel. And the teams will make their way out. Newcastle in the stripes, Oxford all in yellow and black. This is what cup tie football's all about. Forget about winter breaks in Premier League and all this sort of thing. This is what the FA Cup was made for. And this game really does promise to be a real classic, and we've even got crowd noises tonight, folks, for your listening pleasure. Well, Newcastle haven't been a strong side because they haven't got the necessary numbers, but they did sign Danny Rose on loan, but he's ineligible, and James Henry doesn't start due to injury for Oxford, so they've lost their top scorer for this cracking cup tie. Of course, we'll bring you, I'm sure people will keep you abreast of all the other ties taking place. No more so than Shrewsbury's away trip against Birmingham. Let me give you the two teams very quickly, starting with Carl Robinson's Oxford United, who lie 8th in League One with Eastwood in goal. Back four of Long, Dickey, Moore and Ruffles. Dickey wears 4, Moore wears 5, Ruffles 3 and Long 12. And then a midfield three of number 18 Sykes, number 16 Gorin and number 18 Brannigan, and then up front Jamie Mackey the captain, and left and right of him Brown on the right, Holland on the left. On the bench Taylor, Stevens, Mosinio, Hanson, Fawn, Hadji and Kelly. Well, let's have a look at the Newcastle side. Of course, Cardallo, the regular cup goalkeeper, takes his place in goal. And it's going to be a back three today. Fabian Scher 5, Lascelles the captain 6, and Lejeune 20. And then a 5-man midfield, Yedlin on the right, Bentaleb and the Longstaff brothers in the centre. Sean Longstaff, the sort of anchorman if you like, Richie on the left, and then it's Joe Linton and Almiron up front. Matty Longstaff also plays just to the left of his just to the left centre midfield, alongside his brother, as I say, is the anchorman. On the bench, Elliot Clarkson, Maximin, Hayden, Fernandez, Atsu and Allen. Referee tonight is Peter Banks. Carl Robinson, who did a tremendous job before that at NK Dons, getting them almost to the promised land, getting them into the championship. Steve Bruce having a few selfies there. Mike Ashley, there's been a lot of rumours that he's selling to the far Middle East again. You never know with Newcastle. It's a soap opera. It's a bit of a soap opera for many years. Will he sell? Won't he sell? Will he stay loyal to Newcastle? A lot of fans want him out. Newcastle, as I say, in the famous black and white stripes, and they've brought a lot of. There's Peter Banks, the referee. No VAR, incidentally, because we're not at a Premier League venue tonight. As you can tell, there's only 3 sides to the Kazam Stadium, and the end where Newcastle are attacking is actually a car park. So Jamie Mackey, the former Reading and QPR man, will get us underway this 4th round replay. Remember, it's the final round in this FA Cup competition where we have replays from the 5th round onwards. Let's not forget, it has to be decided at the first time of asking. Oxford all in yellow with dark blue on the sleeves, dark blue shorts, and red and I was going to say red is actually yellow stockings with a white with a black, navy blue band round. Hopefully Trevor, once he's streamed his his particular replay on Trevor Sports. He'll be joining us all the way from Television Centre, and hopefully you'll be able to see the end of this game. It's good to have you with us. Good evening, Russ. Good evening, Newcastle. There's also other games taking place, and Russ and Newcastle, of course, will keep you abreast. And just right on cue, Cardiff have just scored in their replay at the Cardiff City Stadium. Murphy has just scored. That game kicked off at 7:45. All the other ties incidentally kicked off at 7:45, including the one at Anfield between Liverpool and Shrewsbury, although it's going to be quite an understrength for the Liverpool team, and Neil Critchley is also taking charge as Mackie makes a good run down the far side of the field. The Oxford left-hand side. Oxford attacking the goal to the right in the first half. 50 seconds of the first half gone. Newcastle get a throw. In the first game, it's worth mentioning that Oxford had 3 or 4, I think, presentable opportunities before. Russ has just politely reminded me that the game kicks up at 8 o'clock. Oxford did have many good chances themselves to maybe win the game up at St James's Park, although Saint-Maximin will be wondering how he didn't finish the game off in the first game for Newcastle. Anyway, here's a chance now for Lejeune. Very hard to tell actually with the black and white stripes. They've got red on it, which is very hard from an identification point of view. This is Lejeune now with the gloves, and Richie, number 11. And we can see the throw-in down on the near side. It was originally scheduled, I believe, for 7:45, but there's been a delay due to congestions, and of course. So 1-0, as I say, Murphy with 19 minutes played, 1-0. And all our team of reporters up and down the land will be keeping you abreast with all the replays. Of course, Birmingham commentaries, just one of the other ties taking place this evening. The first game incident was played at St Andrews, and the replay is now being at St Andrews, purely and simply because they both share the ground at the moment. Well, commentary are sort of tenants for this season up at St Andrews. Here at the Kazam Stadium, Oxford have yielded a throw-in in the 3rd minute. 2.5 minutes gone here, or Newcastle have anyway. Full house, as you would expect. Newcastle fans, as you can hear, making a lot of noise in the background. And they play 1-1-2. Joe Linton might get on the end of this as well. Richie now, can he dig out a cross? Little deflection on the cross from the left-hand side. The ball might break to Longstaff. One of the Longstaff brothers. The ball in there again. There's still a chance here for Newcastle, but the flag is up, I think, for offside. 3 minutes gone. 0-0. Yeah, Richie had just got up to an offside position on the near side there as he crossed in. And the linesman just making sure that there was... And he was off on the second phase as well as that ball was played in. And good sharp reactions there by the linesman on the far side. Free kick quite rightly given, which Eastwood will take. Eastwood played in the goal for Oxford tonight. Carl Robinson, good manager at League One level. Scouser by birth, but very experienced. Still has that youthful look about him. And towards the 4th minute, Mackie just trying to stay onside, but may have just failed to do so. The ball's gone into the penalty area and it's taken by Gardner. That is Ruffles, number 3. He's going to have a big job on tonight, I think. It's a big night for Oxford. Big cup scalp up for grabs here. And of course, hopefully Shrewsbury. And I also want to say good luck to Shrewsbury, who we covered last time out. A tremendous football club, and they deserved at least a replay, if not the victory over Liverpool in the first game. For reasons I won't go into. I think it's a disrespect with Shrewsbury, although Chris makes a point in the video that I did that they've got an even keel of a chance of knocking out Liverpool. I think they might be happy that they get knocked out the FA Cup, quite honestly. Anyway, free kick to Oxford in a pretty promising position, about 15 yards inside the Newcastle half. Long to take it, just to the right hand side of the centre circle. 5 minutes almost gone as the ball chipped towards the left hand side of the penalty area, headed away there by Lancashire, was it? I think it might have been. And it's away again, 0-0 at Anfield. Newcastle just keeping abreast of that. Well, mathematically, Panini haven't won the title. They are 22 points clear after the latest round of fixtures. Half the teams, in fact, take a winter break. So you'll see half the teams this weekend, and then you'll see 5 games over the weekend. Saturday to 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, 1 on Monday, and you'll get the same again the next week as well. Here's Richie now trying to keep it in play on that near side for Newcastle. Still a very strongish lineup that Steve Bruce has put out. He's also stated in his pre-match interview that as so Darlow there just playing a little bit of chicken. Lejeune now gets it forward. Newcastle just trying to keep possession here, just trying to run themselves into problem. There's Longstaff now. Finds the other Longstaff now. A chance here for Newcastle just to break it out on that far side. And here's number 22, Yedlin, running at all comers and trying to get the ball back again from Longstaff and out for a goal kick. 6 minutes gone, still 0-0. If you joined us, good evening to you. Pretty cold night here in the city. A sleepy city that, and a beautiful one as well. Famous for its universities and the television series Inspector Morse. As the ball is kicked forward, right-footed by Eastwood in the Oxford goal. Now, here's a chance now for Richie to take the ball on the near side, and here they come again, but good defending once again. Almiron, he could do with a goal. Been getting a lot of criticism from him and Joe Linton have been getting a lot of criticism for missing big opportunities from people like Alan Shearer and all that before. EFL trophy. I don't think it's Leicester under 14s. I think it's the under 23 side. I think you'll find Newcastle, but bless him. Under 19s. Right. That would truly be men versus boys, that one. I don't think it'd be a fair game. I think they don't play 90-minute games at 14-year-olds. I think it's usually 40 minutes aside. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You got there in the end. 1-0 to Newport. That's the EFL trophy. Here in the FA Cup, 8 minutes gone. It's 0-0. And here come Newcastle again. And Yedlin has it on the far side. Yedlin has got 3 in the middle. If he can tease a little cross in there, a little deflection on it. So difficult to work out who's who on the back of there. Not such a problem from the Oxford identification part, but it's a very high vantage point we have here at the Kazam. It just makes Newcastle's identification a lot more trickier than any other team. But this is Richie now playing the ball forward. Now Longstaff, one of the Longstaff brothers. I can't tell who it is. I think it's Sean Longstaff who's won the ball there. And again, good football again. And here's a chance now for Bentaleb to try and get the first cross in. And comes off the defender Rodriguez for a corner. Under 21s. I think that probably... Anyway, I think we've all got a confusion. Even... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Derby 1, Northampton 0. Wisdom after 28 minutes. The former Liverpool youngster with a goal there at Pride Park as the corner comes in from the far side here. And I think this is one of the Longstaff brothers. And I think it's Sean Longstaff who keeps possession. Yedlin now on the far side trying to play it back to Longstaff, but the ball out of play. It's Brannigan. Seen a supporter there with a half and half scarf around his neck. I don't get the idea of half and half scarves. You're neither a supporter of one club or you're not. It just doesn't make no sense to me, half and half scarves. I know it's a new thing in these day and age. Matty Longstaff incidentally wears number 43 and his brother Sean wears 36. 10.5 minutes almost gone here at the Kazan Stadium. Oxford 0, Newcastle 0. Don't worry, you'll be able to replay the rest. You'll be able to listen to the rest of the commentary back after school tomorrow. Let me remind you as well, if it's level after 90 minutes, we will have an extra half an hour, and if it's level after that half an hour, then we'll have a penalty competition. Here's Jamal Lascelles. He's not difficult to spot with a captain's armband on. It's in a long ball out of play, unfortunately, and behind for a goal kick for Oxford United. Luke Caton says he's going on a trip tomorrow at school. Where are you going, Luke Caton? Reveal all to the YouTube world. There's Mike Ashley. A lot of talk about him selling up. He's done a good job, Steve Bruce. A lot of people doubted him. Geordie born and bred. Has managed Sunderland earlier on in his managerial career. Coventry Cathedral for World War I, and a nice place to visit. I'm into Coventry and it's a lovely city. You'll love it up there at the cathedral. It's not, honestly, you ask your grandfathers. You'll appreciate it in later life, New Caton, I promise you. Anyway, goal kick to Newcastle. You've not missed anything, by the way, whilst I'm having a little banter there with the young lad, who young 10-year-old, one of our youngest subscribers, incidentally. And just while I'm thinking on at the moment, while we're on that subject, keep your comments clean. We are, as I say, without putting too fine a point on it, we are a family programme. Right, possession, as Newcastle just keep the play going on the far side there. 25% Oxford and Mammoth, 75% for Newcastle. So we know who's dominating the possession a bit more now. But as the old phrase goes, it's not possession that wins your football games, it's how you use the possession. Ruffles with a throw, just shy of halfway. Dover 1, Barrow 0. Doesn't matter who the score is, the score will do for me. Here's the number 12 now, Long, coming forward. And then number 6, Goring hitting a nice ball out towards the far side. The ball just breaking kindly there. And it might just break here for Oxford, and they get the ball back to goalkeeper Eastwood. And here's Dickey, number 4, finding Long now, number 12. Gets it down the right, but it's out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Newcastle. 13 minutes, 1-3 gone in the first half. Carl Robinson, the passionate, shall we say, Oxford United manager. I'm taking a sip of coffee because it's a bitterly cold night here in Inspector Morse country. Well, Newcastle will be murdered out of the FA Cup tonight. Will they survive and go through in leafy old Oxfordshire? Long ball up and over the top, well defended by Newcastle. Well, they switched off a little bit there as that ball comes straight forward towards Brown inside the penalty area. Mackey was close at hand as well, but Newcastle just had a little bit more nous to get it away, but they haven't got it away properly. Now they have now, and here's a chance for Newcastle. Joe Linton trying to stay on side here as the ball is given towards Joe Linton. Now Bentaleb. Oh, Robert Almiron, I should say. Almiron. With that, we've got a worldwide base here. That we've got latest scores from Germany here. Schalke 4-0 Hertha Berlin 1. Here comes Almir, Joe Linton on the edge of the penalty area. Chances here for Newcastle. Oh, it's in the net. Right-footed. And it's Longstaff, I think. It's one of the Longstaff Prubbers who've given Newcastle the lead. And the Geordie faithful, the Toon Army, are absolutely brilliant. It's Sean Longstaff who's got it. Number 36. Right footed shot. Edge of the D. And it rifled into the top right hand corner of Eastwood's goal. And that's just the settler that Steve Bruce's side really well wanted here. Didn't panic here. Took an extra touch on his right foot and then rifled the shot. And Eastwood might have just got the slightest of fingertips on it. But it just wasn't enough. And the ball nestles belongs now over the Newcastle fans anyway. Sweetly in the back of the Oxford net. So if Carl Robinson's side are going to get a positive result here tonight to cause an upset, they're going to have to come from behind. 16 minutes gone. Oxford 0, Newcastle United 1 in the 4th round of the FA Cup. And here they come again, Newcastle. Ball played in there towards the far side. Oh, it should have been 2 in 2 minutes. Joe Linton came in at the back post. It was a cross in from the left hand side. And this should have been 2-0 to Newcastle. Wonderful counter attack started by Sean Longstaff there. Good cross there. And Joe Linton should have made it 2-0. It was Bentaleb, the former Tottenham man, with the cross from the left. And wide it went. Derby have gone 2-0 up. Holmes after 35 minutes against plucky Northampton at, I was going to say the baseball ground, but they don't play there anymore. It's at Pride Park. Right, Oxford now. Bit of work to do for them then in this 4th round replay. Can they find something here? Brannigan takes the ball, finds number 8 here. Here is Brannigan, in fact. In good possession here now. They just mustn't. What Oxford mustn't do here is panic. And then they've got a chance here with Brown, who tries an audacious attempt with his left foot from about 25 yards out, but it goes well wide of the left hand post. And behind for a goal kick for Newcastle. Nice shake of the head, side to side from manager Carl Robinson. Television just confirming that Derby had gone 2 up. Nantes 0, PSG 0, 25 gone. I think that's French League. Granada 1, Valencia 0 in La Liga. I think these are La Liga games and Liga 1 games. I'm sure people will let me know if it's the right competition. I don't plan to give out scores from around Europe, but I think we might as well. Don't forget, if you're listening to this game and you've not tuned into Trevor Sports' channel yet, tune in after we've done the commentary here, because he's got his Sports Night Cup replay, his version of the FA Cup. Wolves against Chelsea in his own simulated version of the FA Cup. Anyway, here come Oxford again. This is Brown on the ball now, right hand side, looking for the run here of Long, but I think the ball's badly over it, and Long would have needed a sprint of Usain Bolt's calibre to keep up with that one. I think we're about to see a replay again of Matty Longstaff's ball in. Ritchie playing the ball in. Jolinton holding it up well inside the penalty area. There's the turn and the right foot shot into the back of the net. Matty Longstaff, Sean Longstaff. I think he'll be happy with that one. And his brother's quite pleased as well. 19 minutes gone. Oxford 0, Newcastle 1. Newcastle, who haven't won the FA Cup since the days of War Jackie Milburn back in 1955, have reached a couple of finals in the late 90s, 1998 and 1999. They lost 2-0 to both Arsenal and Manchester United respectively. 2005, you have to go back to the last time they reached an FA Cup semi-final. Of course, they reached the 74 final, where Malcolm MacDonald said he was going to absolutely outplay Emlyn Hughes and Tommy Smith. how wrong he was. 2 for Keegan. Was it 2 for Keegan, 1 for Highway? Liverpool 3, Newcastle 0. David Coleman's commentary will go down in legend. Goals pay the rent. Keegan does his share. What days they were. Anyway, here come Newcastle. As I said, looking to win the cup for the first time since 1955. And they're well on the way to getting through to the next round anyway, if they can keep themselves going. Keep going, Newcastle. You're doing okay. Don't let Panini put you off. Of course, there's another couple of replays tomorrow. These aren't the end of the replays. There are a few more. Tottenham against Tottenham are in action, of course, in their game as well. This is our replay here at the Kazam Stadium. We like to try and feature the underdogs in this competition as much as we possibly can on this channel. We like to showcase a little bit of the underdog. Here's Dickey getting it forward now, and oh, tell you what, that was a square ball that could have gone anywhere. The long ball forward, and in the end it's come straight into the arms of goalkeeper Carl Darlow. Jamie Mackie not having any service at the moment, and Darlow in the goals. Nothing to do. Sort of a Nottingham Forest backbone at the back, if you like, with Carl Darlow and Jamal Lascelles in their defence. Here's Long, taking it back to Dickey. Long again on the left hand side, goes over on the near side, looks to take on all comers, looking to try and find Mackie and his two strike colleagues, but he couldn't be found. And here's Almiron trying to play the ball in there towards Longstaff again. German Cup, Schalke 0, Hertha Berlin 2. 40 minutes played in that one. That's the German Cup. On the play, and there's got a player down injured, it looks like, on inside the penalty of Joe Linton, in fact. I'll just remind you of the benches. Newcastle's first: Elliott, Clark, Saint-Maximin, Isaac Aiden, Fernandez, Atsu and Allen. So they do have 1 or 2 attacking options. Oxford, should they require extra firepower in the second half if they are still trailing at this stage, they've got Taylor, Stevens, Moutinho, Hansen, Fawn, Angie and Kelly. Well, Steve Bruce and Steve Agnew, the brains on the Newcastle bench, having to decide whether Joelinton will be able to carry on. Saint-Maximin, in fact, as I speak to you now, is on the touchline down below me, and Atsu as well, warming up. 23.5 minutes gone, so we're halfway through the first half here at the Kazam. We have a breaking play. Players for both sides, I should add, are taking drinks. I can report that Joelinton is up on his feet okay. With a bit of luck, I think should be able to run it up. I think it's some sort of a rib injury. It looks like to the left rib. Remember the first game up at St James's, the original tie, finished goalless. Spurs 3, Southampton 2. That's tomorrow night's game, 1 apiece. Southampton nicking a replay in the last seconds of that original game 10 days ago at St Mary's to force that game. Should be a cracker, but I fancy Spurs to should overcome it. I think Southampton have got, mind you, I thought Southampton were actually quite good the other day against Liverpool, and were very unlucky not to come away. He'll be on I'm sure he'll be on shortly after his FA Cup stream. Of course, check that out after our commentary game. I'll certainly be tuning in afterwards. And of course, just to remind you, this is our first live game in some 2 weeks. And just to apologise where I've just been working, if truth be told, guys. That's why you've not had Ed or Taylor and me on commentary duty. Sometimes one has to work. Sometimes one has to pay the bills, as it were. But I can tell you that we'll have the League Cup final on the 1st of March. With a bit of luck, the final now between Aston Villa, as that cross comes in from the near side there. That was by Brown, almost finding Jamie Mackie inside the penalty area, but it's a corner through Oxford. That's better from the. It's better from. It's better from Oxford. Don't give me any calls at half time, Russ. I need to concentrate on the second half. You don't need to ask a question at the moment. Anyway, here's a corner into the penalty area. As the headers come in, and well, you can ask actually at half time because I will be off the mic. Just for 5 minutes though, because we're going to do some entertainment at half time as well, and some trivia. Bremen 2. Well, Bremen are 2 up anyway, half time. Ball threaded forward, and that might fall for the goalkeeper. It's gone out of play, and goal kick it's been given. It did look as if it deflected. As Oxford played that ball forward, it did look as if it took a deflection. And it should have been a corner. Peter Banks has said goal kick. Just looking at a replay, it would have been it's a difficult decision, I think, for Peter Banks, the referee there. He was going to anger one set of fans, whichever way he gave the decision. In the end, he decided that his decision was deemed that it came off a Newcastle player. Half time, Cardiff 1, Reading 0, Derby 2, Northampton 0. We've heard nothing from Liverpool or Birmingham this evening, so there must be still goals there in those games. Any goals that go in those games at Anfield and St Andrews, we'll let you know. 0-0 in this 4th round replay here at the Kazan Stadium. Well, 1-0, sorry, to Newcastle here at the Kazan Stadium in his 4th round replay. That's a free kick to Oxford in a very dangerous position. Matty Longstaff is down injured as well. He was the man who committed the challenge. Referee Peter Banks again involved. It was Longstaff and number 18 Sykes involved. Well, who's got the... I think it's a free kick Oxford. Indeed it is, because Brown is shaping up to take this free kick. Longstaff is hobbling about on his feet, but a big chance now for Carl Robinson's side. And you feel really that Birmingham 0, Coventry 0, that's a half-time score at St Andrews in the FA Cup. It's a free kick now, and what can Long do here with this free kick? Plenty of yellow-shirted Oxford players in the side of the area. 28 gone. Oxford 0, Newcastle United 1. Sean Longstaff with the goal. And a bullet goal it was too. Bit of jostling and pushing going on in that Newcastle penalty area. The referee Banks trying to keep order as that free kick comes in towards the penalty area. And in fact it was not long as I thought. It was Brown in fact who took the free kick. In fact it's 6 added minutes, I'm told. And another foul, is it? No foul there. Oxford wanting the free kick now. Joe Linton is through. He's clean through. The flag has stayed down. Joe Linton for 2-0. It's found the right hand corner. And Joe Linton makes it 2-0. And Oxford are fuming because they felt they could have had a free kick in the build-up. Joe Linton is still injured, but the travelling Toon Army don't care because Newcastle have gone 2 goals clear. Steve Bruce applauding the goal, but Oxford are furious. They feel, and Brown especially, they think they should have had a free kick in the build-up to the Newcastle second scored by Joe Linton. This is what happened. Oh, I tell you what, they've got a point here. I think that's a foul. I think that's a foul. And the Oxford fans are having a right go at the referee here. But having said that, though, you play to the whistle, and Oxford were caught out. Big time there. Credit to Joe Linton because he kept his head there when in recent weeks he hasn't. But it will be a confidence booster for Joe Linton now, knowing that he can tuck away chances like that. Right foot into the right-hand corner. Steve Bruce, well, he's delighted. He's pleased, I think, but he's still hurt, I think, Joe Linton. But he still did really well there. But Oxford will feel, I think, quite understandably aggrieved that they didn't get a free kick some 25 seconds before Joe Linton put the ball into the Oxford net. But it's 2-0 in this cup replay. But the FA Cup, anything can still happen. Oxford still has got plenty of time to get back into this. Crossing there by Long into the penalty area. Still a chance in there. And Mackie shoots, and it's a terrific save. Still Oxford recycle the ball. In it goes. Long on the near side. Oh, and it's off the line. Right-footed shot. And kicked off the line, headed off the line rather, by Jamal Lascelles. Jamie Mackey showing his experience there. Good save by Darlow, diving away to his right. And then it came to Long and headed off the line brilliantly there by Jamal Lascelles. Good response by Oxford. Brown with the corner from the right-hand channel. In it goes inside the penalty area. Brown might get a second chance to recycle the ball on the right-hand side. And Brown's got his behind again. The flag has stayed down and the cross came in, and Newcastle are just happy to boot the ball out of play any old how. Lejeune just doing the honours and just booting it away as much as he can. That's much better from Oxford. And Carl Robinson, in fact, has been booked, I think maybe for protesting to the linesman maybe, or to the referee or the fourth official, but he's been booked by Peter Banks. Meanwhile, Oxford now having a good spell in the game, and they're inside on the edge of the penalty area. They want another free kick, but Peter Banks says no. Was never going to put his whistle to his mouth. Well, we've had drama here, controversy. Was it a free kick? Wasn't it a free kick? A well taken goal and all of that by Joe Linton, but should he have counted? Here's Brannigan. Well, if I can offer some help to Oxford fans listening in, remember the game at the New Meadow 10 days ago. Shrewsbury were 2 down and seemingly out of it, and they rallied in the last half an hour and got themselves the replay. So if I can offer any help and for any Oxford fan to cling to, there's that example. It did look a foul there by Almiron on Brown, and I do have sympathy for Oxford there on that front. Here's number 3 Ruffles getting it back to number 5 Moore. Long available on the right hand side, and he tries to go past his man, but he can't succeed in doing so. Richie sticking to his guns really well. Now Dickey gets the ball back to goalkeeper Eastwood. Little or no chance on the 2 goals. And I've zoomed past him tonight. Now the referee's having to stop it because Joe Linton, the goal scorer of the second goal, Sean Longstaff got the first one incidentally. Just to remind you, if you joined us late, Bacardi's just scored for Nantes, or for PSG's rather, against Nantes. 31 minutes gone in that game. Well, that will do well. He might come off injured, but I tell you what, that's a good finish, and that will give Joe Linton a lot of confidence. But that's a bit of a worry, that injury to his left hand rib. He's down on the ground again. I'm not certain he will continue, and Saint-Maximin is going to come on. He's got the headband on, as you can see. Newcastle in prime position to reach the 5th round. Remember, they haven't won the cup. I'm sure Newcastle fans have been sick of being reminded about it, but I'm going to say it again anyway. I haven't won the cup since the days of War Jackie Milben, 1955. And of course, they're on the end of a massive shock in 1972 when Seven League Hereford, non-league Hereford, knocked them out of the FA Cup. Ronnie Radford, John Motson and all. 35 minutes almost gone in the first half here. 10 to play at the Kazam. And And Saint-Maximin is going on. Joe Linton has made his way off the field, I'm told. So that substitution has now been confirmed. As Dickey takes possession now for Oxford. Whose major last piece of silverware they won was in 1986, the old Milk Cup. Now, of course, the Carabao Cup. A chance here for Oxford! And over the top. Holland coming in at the far post. The ball went into the ground. And then the ball looped over the goalkeeper's head. And looped over the Newcastle crossbar to the frustration of the home crowd. Better from Oxford. Good crossing there by Sykes. Mackie was also in there too. In fact, it came off Mackie and then looped over the goalkeeper Darlow, but it looped over the crossbar. But if there's any consolation for the Oxford fans, they are really having a good goal since the second goal. Their sense of injustice, and that substitution has now been confirmed. Saint-Maximin is now on as Joelinton tamely and gingerly makes his way off. That's a sad blow. Here's a chance now as Newcastle look for a third, and they almost get it. The ball into the side netting from Almiron, cut inside on the right, and stabbed it right-footed into the right-hand side netting, and a goal kick for Oxford United. It remains 2-0 here at the Kazam Stadium. The Newcastle fans are in a nice night out here in leafy Oxfordshire. As said, home of the Greenwich University and of course Inspector Morse and all that. Maybe they need Inspector Morse Oxford to try and lead the half-time inquest, because at the moment they are 2-0 down, and Sean Longstaff has given away a free kick here inside his own half, pushing Rodriguez over. So Saint-Maximin, just to remind you, is now on 37.5 minutes played here at the Kazam Stadium. Newcastle 2 goals clear. Second goal coming in a rather controversial fashion. I don't think Steve Bruce will care too much. Carl Robinson, as I said, in all that shenanigans when the goal was scored, was booked for protesting for too long to the fourth official, I think. Anyway, here's Long. Newcastle ball, and that's annoyed a good section of the Oxford supporter. Why is he listening to this? Because he enjoys what I do, actually. A lot of people from all different clubs enjoy football. They might support certain teams, but they enjoy the commentary that goes with them. I suppose it's not just the two teams that are involved. You need a good commentator to make it, and that's what I provide. And they like listening to football. And don't call me brother, just call me mate. Anyway, here come Newcastle now looking for a third. This is Saint-Maximin. He gets his first touch midway inside the Oxford half. A third Newcastle goal you fancy would kill the game off. Oxford must stay in it at 2. Get to half time, regroup. Maybe Carl Robinson needs to maybe quote something from Inspector Morse, maybe to try and get them back into this game. Anyway, here they come again now. Can they find a way through? That's going to be the question now. Holland keeping possession well. Now Moore finding Dickey deep inside their own territory. Gets a long ball forward, looking towards Brown, but he can't keep it in play. Just to remind you of some of the statistics: 4 attempts apiece, 2 apiece on target. But Newcastle's 2 have counted big time. You could say they've got a 100% ratio. Oxford have possession on halfway. Here's Moore. Finds Dickey. Gets it back to Eastwood. Hey, don't worry. I'm a Burnley fan, for just everyone who wants to know. I'm a big Burnley supporter. But we always welcome. Football's a big family. It doesn't matter who you support. As long as you're respectful and kind and you don't swear, you're welcome on this channel. Don't you worry. I'm just seeing a little tussle there between Yedlin and Ruffles. Anyway, Newcastle have got some defending to do here as Mackie makes the break inside the penalty area. Just running into trouble a little bit. Here comes Holland on the far side. Surely tapped him over. I think the referee might have just played an advantage there. Here's Holland again. They're having to go back now. And here comes the way. And right foot. Let's have a friendly debate now. Let's not get into any arguments. Let's enjoy the game. Let's enjoy the commentary. And let's have some good humoured fun as well while we're doing it. Because that's what it's all about. Just lost sound here for a second or two. And here comes Longstaff now for Newcastle. Now Joe Linton. Just keeping possession. Or Robert Almiron. Sorry, Joe Linton is the man who's gone off. Here's Almiron again. Just nice, crisp, cool passes here on the near side. Still 2-0 Newcastle. We've joined us late. Goals from Longstaff and from Joe Linton, who's had to go off for the rib injury. Richie now on this near side. Richie trying to take on his man. Richie's cross towards the far side. Knocked away once more by the defender. This time it was Moore getting in the way, and then a long ball which is going to give Brown a bit of a long chase there. And it's forced to throw in there off Lejeune on the near side. So 3 minutes to half time. Nice to have Chris Whiteman back on as well. Good banter, and it's always enjoyable. Don't forget, tune into Trevor Sports later on for his version of the FA Cup, as we see a shot that goes into the stand to my right from Brannigan. Left footed shot, but well over the crossbar. It still remains with about 2.5 minutes to go. Oxford 0, Newcastle United 2. Half time, the Shrews are holding Liverpool. Liverpool 0, Shrewsbury 0, albeit the under-23 squad managed tonight, I believe, by Neil Critchley. Well, Jurgen Klopp is keeping the club's tabs on it, I'm told, and he's going to be ringing, I think, at half-time on the telephone. I hope they give him British Telecom a good chunk for their phone bill. Like ET, never phone home. Anyway, it's Richie for Newcastle. 2 goals clear inside the final 2 minutes of normal time at the end of the first half. Here's Yedlin on the far side for the Magpies. And the Toon Army having a nice night out here in Oxfordshire. And Saint-Maximin down the near side. Chance here to ledger across. It was far too much venom. And it's gone straight towards Holland now on the far side. Holland keeps possession. Gets the ball in there towards Brannigan. Brannigan tracked by Matty Longstaff. He runs down the left-hand side. Ball played back. And now the shot comes in. The defender, there was half appeals for handball as the shot goes wide on the follow-up. With a minute to go, it was Rodriguez who had the first effort. I think it was Holland who had the first one, which was charged away. Yep, it was. Off the chest of the defender, and it broke to Rodriguez. Came off Lascelles, in fact, and it came to Rodriguez, who hit it right-footed wide of the target. Northampton have pulled a goal back into the second half, I think, in that game. Derby 2, Northampton 1. So the lower league side back in it at Pryor Park. Time not over them hills yet. Meanwhile, there's a player down. We're going to See a yellow card here on the field. The first yellow card on the field. Bentaleb is the first man caution. Remember, Carl Robinson, the manager, has been booked as well for too much protesting on the Newcastle second goal. And Nabil Bentaleb is booked, former West Brom player and former Tottenham player as well. 200 minutes at the end of the first half, and we're 15 seconds into the first of the 200. Don't forget, we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll keep you abreast with all the latest scores at half-time, and then a full second half commentary of this fourth round replay. And that's a poor free kick, absolutely dreadful from Long, or from Rodriguez I should say. Absolutely poor. And I'm just looking at the Oxford fans, they're absolutely furious around me here, high up in the main stand here at the Kazam Stadium. Brannigan battling well on that far side. Free kick to Newcastle again. That's not helping the Oxford cause. It's a free kick. Longstaff, the man, Sean Longstaff, getting the decision there. Sykes, the offender. The first time he's tussled with a Longstaff brother in the first half, of course. 40 seconds of stoppage time to go before the referee bolts for half time. We've got a break in play, incidentally. And the Oxford fans are getting rather frustrated here. But he's injured. If he's clearly injured, he's got to have treatment. In fact, Sykes has, for his high foot, has been booked as well. Well, he can afford a smile, Mr. Ashley. His team 2 up. But 2-0, as we've always said. And any times on this channel over the years, can be a dangerous lead. Offside given. Free kick for Oxford. You can tell the banter is there. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm just concentrating on the remainder of the first half. We're now into time added on for time added on. We're 23 seconds over the 2 minutes. It's down to Peter Banks' discretion. And he says 30 seconds more is enough. Newcastle 2 up in controversial circumstances. Not the first goal, mind you, from Longstaff. A 20-yard shot from the edge of the area, right-footed into the corner of the net. And then the second goal taken by Joe Linton when he got clean through 1-on-1 after it looked as if there was a foul in the build-up. But at the moment, Newcastle in complete command. Oxford have had a few chances, but they're booing Peter Banks off here at half-time. And they're needing a police escort to take the referee off at the moment. So, there we go. We just look at a shot there at the blink at half time. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll keep scorelines will keep flooded in as always, but hopefully Trevor will join us for the second half, of course. Trevor Sports, and well, let's just see if the second half does live up. But Oxford have got it all to do. They haven't been at the races. Newcastle have taken their chances. Half time here at the Kazam Stadium in this fourth round FA Cup replay. It's Oxford United 0 rather. Newcastle United 2. Derby have gone 3 up against Northampton. Marriott with the goal there. But we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in 5 minutes for a little bit of a rundown and, of course, the whole second half commentary. Join us in about 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, we are back online now. Yeah, sorry, we had the microphone off, so apologies if you couldn't hear me in the second half. My microphone must have snuck off. We are back with you now. If you can hear me, let me know. Sometimes we have faults and things like that, even technical ones. 2-0 to Newcastle. Teams are exactly the same as they were before if you joined us late. Here's Richie now down that near side, or far side rather, for Newcastle. Ball into the penalty area. Turned away by the defender. And out for a throw-in. Still remains 2-0 to Newcastle. Right. Yep, we can hear you now. Everyone can hear me. Second half was underway. We just had one or two. Issues here at in the land of Inspector Morse. 4 minutes into the second half, still 2-0, and of course, yeah, the on-screen chat, yeah, it always seems to be like that. But I've got you on the mobile phone, so I'll keep going, Chris. Anyway, here's the kick away by Darlow. Darlow's kick, a long one, and Richards has pulled one back for Cardiff, for Reading against Cardiff. 2-1 there. Don't forget the JBM LTM. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That's open for business and around about the 65th minute mark. We'll tell you all about that later. Meanwhile, Almiron has the ball over on the far side for Newcastle. Back inside to number 42, Bentaleb, trying to play the ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. And the ball's been lost once again. Still, Newcastle have it. Saint-Maximin now chests the ball down. And there's plenty waiting in black and white. Oh, that might be close to a penalty. Peter Banks, I think, has said... Has he given a penalty? I'm not sure if he has. Is that a penalty? Or is he going to... Goal kick given, I think. Must have been simulation then. Just seen Saint-Maximin playing the ball in, and it's number 24, Almiron, that goes through. Oh, I think he trips in there. I think that's a bit clumsy there by long. I think Newcastle should have had a penalty. I think Almiron was tripped. Well, the referee, Peter Banks, has not endeared himself to both sets of supporters tonight, I'm afraid. Anyway, here's Ruffles now for Oxford. Works it well now with Holland. Towards the number 8 now. Can Brannigan knock the ball back across from the left-hand side? He might just do so, but good discipline. Newcastle defending again. Bremen scoring in their German Cup game. 3-1. And Almiron being roundly booed by the hordes of Oxford United supporters. Lejeune as well. Oxford... Well, I was interested. Whilst I was off air at half time, I was very annoyed by Alan Shearer's comments that wasn't a foul in the build at the second goal. I don't know whether it's his Newcastle bias that's coming out there. Martin Keown, who sat a few rows away in the gantry, said that was a definite free kick, and I agree with him. How can Shearer discuss that's a free kick? I'm sorry, and that's not a free kick. I'm sorry, but Alan Shearer, he needs to, he gets paid a lot of money for punditry, and I think he's absolutely wrong. I thought it was a free kick. Anyway, still 2-0. As the ball played over towards Holland, takes the ball beautifully on the left-hand side, and now a bit of space for Sykes to run into, far side, now long, can he measure across into the penalty area? He can! Oh! And half a chance there inside the penalty area, and over the top it goes for a goal kick. Mackie wants a corner. Oh, Oxford get his nothing, and not Newcastle. Well, that get a goal kick. Lovely play again. In fact, ball played in there, and in fact, number 3 Ruffles was charging in with intent, and that should have been a corner. In fact, Jamie Mackey can't believe it. He's giving some really, really iffy sort of decisions tonight, Peter Banks. He's giving Oxford a 3 kick here on halfway. Well, it'll be interesting to see how Carl Robinson, if Oxford do go on to lose the game, wonder if Carl Robinson will have a few words to say. Live scores at the moment from Russ. Birmingham 0, Coventry 1, Cardiff 2, Reading 1, Derby County 3, Northampton 1, and Liverpool Shrewsbury at the moment are odds on extra time 0-0. Well done the Shrews, they're holding Liverpool, doesn't matter what side it is. Anyway, inside the area comes Sykes, tries to dig out across, half appeals there from 1 or 2 Oxford supporters for handball. Not was going to be given, I don't think. Goal kick, I think, is the call from Peter Banks. He hasn't had his good best game. It's supposed to be a Premier League referee. At the moment, I don't see how he could be a Premier League referee with refereeing like this. Maurice Evans and Jim Smith, the men that took Oxford into the First Division many, many years ago. In fact, Jim Smith, of course, one of Oxford's greatest ever managers, along with Maurice Evans. Well, he died late last year, 80 odd years old he was, and a great servant to the game for many, many years. Good night, Newcastle, have a good one, and enjoy your trip to Coventry Cathedral tomorrow. At least you get out of the classroom. But going back to Jim Smith, he was the man that took Oxford into the big time in 1985. Maurice Evans took over, and the next season they won the League Cup, beating Jim Smith and QPR 3-0 at Wembley. Trevor Hebard, Ray Houghton and Jeremy Charles scoring on a famous April afternoon at Wembley. 10 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Oxford 0, Newcastle United 2 here. At the moment it's Newcastle just keeping possession and going back to their goalkeeper Darlow. Darlow will kick long. Under pressure a little bit there from Mackey. Header one there by Dickey. Header one once again, this time by Brown. And there's been a goal, and I have got to tell you, this is a big news. Wally, who missed a couple of chances, you may remember in the original game at the New Meadow, has just put Shrewsbury in front at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Shrewsbury 1. Wally with the goal there. And what a fillip this could be for little old Shrewsbury. They play Chelsea next if they get through. And boy, are they going to be in the money if they do that. At the moment, Oxford, and whatever happens, we're going to bring you some goal highlights of that game at full time. That's what we're going to do for you. If it turns out to be the same result, we're going to give you some goal highlights. Alistair Mann is at Anfield for us tonight, and BBC. Never mind the under-23s, it's still a Liverpool side that they've been put out. It's their funeral. Anyway, here's a chance now for Oxford. Inside the area, Mackey can't turn. And the ball breaks kindly for Carl Darlow. Still Oxford 0, Newcastle United 2. Yes, of course, quite. But Jurgen Klopp should still be there. He will not be happy with Neil Critchley in his under-23s. Anyway, here's Saint-Maximin here for Newcastle. Cutting inside towards the edge of the penalty area. The flag stays down, but the ball is out of play, and Almiron and also Yedlin couldn't keep it in play. Just overhit there, Saint-Maximin. Wayne Rooney has just scored a 4 for Derby, and it looks as if Rooney will meet his old pals at Manchester United in round number 5. So 4-1. Meanwhile, we're going to see a substitution here. Taylor is coming on, and Jamie Mackey coming off. It's a good applause there. Jamie Mackey's a very good striker, been a journeyman striker, started his career many years ago at Reading. Played a part in that massive game between QPR and Manchester City when there's some sad news, I'm afraid, at Anfield for Shrews fans who might be tuning in. VAR has disallowed the goal, I believe, offside, so the goal does not stand. Still Liverpool 0, Shrewsbury 0. Meanwhile, Newcastle still 2-0 up here. But all the drama at the moment in the second half is elsewhere. Anyway, free kick to Oxford. Can they get a goal back? We're into the 59th minute. We've had 58.5 minutes. We're into the 59th. Now then, chances here now for Sykes. To Long. Back to Dickey. He'll hit a long ball in. No, he won't. Goes back again. Now then, Moore. Get the ball back in there. Reading have equalised again. 2-2 in that game at the Cardiff City Stadium. They're on for extra time. They've got about 11 minutes to go in that game. That was a 7:45 kickoff. Cross comes in from the far side, but it's nodded away by the Newcastle defence. And Almiron now finds Saint-Maximin. Good link-up play down the left-hand side. And Almiron has only got one in the middle. So he decides to hold up play quite sensibly from Newcastle's point of view. He's still being roundly booed. This is Longstaff. That's Matty Longstaff on the ball. Bentaleb in possession. Turns nicely there. And it's just it's a good professional performance this from Newcastle in the second half. Newport have knocked out the Leicester City under-21s and the Checker Trade Trophy. So 2-2 in that game at Cardiff. Good action there, I suppose. Half an hour to go here. Derby have gone 4-1 up, as I say, through Wayne Rooney's penalty goal. And the physio's out here. It looks as if it's Brown who's injured. A female physiotherapist on. So we've got a break in play. Just to remind you, we all thought that Shrewsbury had scored. It turns out it wasn't the case. It turned out, in actual fact, that it was a goal that was disallowed for offside by television replays. And it remains 0-0 here. Well, up at Anfield anyway. Here at the Chatham Stadium, we've got a break in play. We've had an hour gone. Right, man of the match. We're going to see Kelly on in a minute. Roxford, right, the JB man in a match. Now, for those who have never tuned in before, this is how it works. Basically, we're choosing a supplementary one, and Brown is going off to be replaced by Kelly, incidentally. That's a substitution being made for Oxford just before we carry on with the JB man in a match rules. So, we're only new subscribers, and I know one or two of the Newcastle fans have subscribed to me, and thank you very much for whoever's subscribed this evening. Anybody new to this channel, let me just remind you of the JB Man of the Match award. It's a supplementary award. They don't actually get it. It's a vote that you guys take part in. And basically, all you've got to do is select the name of the player that you want to see win our award. And the player that gets the most votes wins. But to make a vote count, you must hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM. Okay? And we start the voting at around about the 65th minute. We've got about 3 minutes before the vote opens. And I'll let you know then, as soon as we get a break in play around that time, when the voting will start. Meanwhile, until then, we carry on with commentary. That's not man of the match. Anyway, 2-0. And apologies for any language used by one or two of the supporters in the background. I can't dictate what supporters sing, unfortunately, as the ball comes in high now from Darlow. Header away there by Dickey. So Maximin just touching that on. Newcastle in a very good position at the moment as they... Good night to you. As Newcastle look to try and close this game out. Referee blowing, I think, for a free kick. Newcastle fans. Swindon, away the lads. Lancashire, as I say, in the crowd. Charnley as well there too. Those two are the victims of a very, very big campaign by Newcastle fans who feel that the club hasn't been run properly since Ashley took control many years ago. One must agree with the fans, of course. I mean, it's been frustrating for them over the years. No success since 1969 when they won the old Fairs Cup. Bobby Moncur was the last Newcastle captain to lift a major trophy. I know they've won a few promotions and a few championship titles, but to the Newcastle fans, they're not major prizes. They want the top prizes. They want to be at the top table of English football. There's been a goal in the game at Pride Park. Derby 4, Northampton 2. Hoskins with a penalty after 84 minutes. And they're coming to a close there, but it looks as if it's Derby against Manchester United in the 5th round of the FA Cup. And all these games actually take place on the 2nd of March. The 5th round ties, which I think is wrong. It should be played in the middle of February. Curse that Premier League for even wanting to consider a winter break. Ridiculous. Anyway, here's you don't do away with tradition like that. Right. Anyway, here's more now for Oxford. Finds Dick Hughes taking over the captaincy from Jamie Mackie. This is Long on the far side. VAR is perfect in Germany. Well, they've got the efficiency and the wherewithal to deal with all this technology. We Brits haven't, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. Remember, 0-0 from the first game. And maybe Oxford had their better chances up at St James's, really. They haven't really created much, I'm afraid, from an underdog's point of view. Newcastle have been, I think, far too coy and a bit too professional for Oxford this evening. So as things stand, they'll be going into the 5th round of the FA Cup. And let me just remind you of the 5th round draw. And just to remind you who will play who. Still 0-0 in the other game. As Longstaff takes possession inside the centre circle. This is Sean Longstaff who got the first goal. Might look to try and shoot again. There's Yedlin on the far side, on the near side I should say. Yedlin turns away. That boy's out with on the far side. Still 2-1. Or 2-0 should say. Just trying to find out who plays who. Manchester City against Sheffield Wednesday. That's going to be a cracking tie. In fact, the winners with this will play West Bromwich Albion, New Caton's Barbers team. They will go to the Hawthorns in the 5th round. So it'll be an away draw should Newcastle get through. Don't forget to tune into Trevor Sports' version. He's got, at the moment, he's got his version of the FA Cup running at the moment. Right, JB Man of the Match, just to let you know how this contraction works if you're new to it. The voting is open. Name of your player and then you hashtag it with the hashtag JBMRTM. And we open the vote now. It's on the 90th minute. Here's Darlow with a free kick for Newcastle. Offside was called earlier on. Headed away by Oxford. Yedlin going forward, and he was fouled there by Ruffles. Free kick on the near side to Newcastle United. 22 minutes plus stoppage time left at the second half. If it was to, well, it's highly unlikely now with the time left in the game, but if Oxford were to score twice in whatever time remained, we would have extra time. And if it was level after that, penalties, but at the moment extra time in this tie looks extremely unlikely. Here's Saint-Maximin now for Newcastle, and the ball knocked away once again. Still the ball breaks kindly here. Here's Matty Longstaff to his brother Sean, and now the ball played back to Cher. Now Yedlin plays a 1-2 with Longstaff. Yedlin in behind again. The ball into the penalty area. It's only Saint-Maximin was in there, and a cool header back by Long to Eastwood. Wasn't a much to spare though. Good cross there by Yedlin from the right hand side, and Long nodding it back there, asking a lot of his goalkeeper, but it was coolly done. Oxford 20 minutes to find 2 goals and maybe a snooker or 2 to get themselves back into this cup replay. Here's Eastwood. Oh, his first touch was poor and he almost paid for it in the end. Oh, he got away with that one there. There was a Newcastle player converging right on him, and he almost paid for it with a third goal. Almost, I mean. But Oxford have possession. How they've kept possession, I will never know. Anyway, here they come again with Kelly on the far side. Back to Kelly again from Long. Right hand side. Kelly trying to get Long in down the right, but he's out of play on the far side. Goal kick for Newcastle. Oxford preparing their final change of the night. 20 minutes to go. This is what happened. Eastwood was playing Harry Carey, and Almiron nearly dispossessed him and almost made it 3. Very lucky goalkeeper, I feel. So we're inside the final 20 minutes of the match. Don't forget JB MLTM, please, and the name of your player, and then hashtag it with hashtag JBMLTM. Is number 27 on the ball. It's Holland. Still 2-0. This is Kelly. 2-0 Newcastle, I should say. Again, good football once again from Newcastle defensively, just boxing in, hemming Oxford, and not allowing them to get through the defences at the moment. Out for another aimless long pass there, and out for a goal kick again for Newcastle. And there's been a goal, and it's bad news, I'm afraid, for Shrewsbury. Williams has put through his own goal, and it's an own goal by Williams. Liverpool 1, Shrewsbury 0. How cruel on poor old Shrewsbury. Adji's just come on the field. Can someone confirm that substitution? Has Adji come on there? Let me just... Can someone confirm the substitution? I missed that because we were looking at the other... I was looking at the mobile there. I'm checking the squad, but there has been an Oxford change. Here come Newcastle now in the meantime with Saint-Maximin. Edge of the penalty area, but well covered again by the defender Long. It will be a corner. If Russ could confirm for me who's come on for Oxford in a second or two, I'd be eternally grateful. Well, we've got about 18 minutes to play, folks. Don't forget your man of the match vote, name of your player, and then hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM. It's on the 90th minute. Here comes the corner far side. A long one in there. Chance for a third Newcastle goal. Header one, but out of play. And another corner. Going off Agion. Right, that's fine. Thank you, Russ. Our man in the know. And Agier, former Burnley player, of course, as Chris Whiteman quite rightly points out. Right, corner will be taken by Richie. Takes the corners from both sides. Linesman just making sure that's just on the line, the quadrant line. And Richie replacing the ball right on the line of the quadrant. And the corner comes in, right hand side, near side as we look. And the ball ricochets a couple of times in the area, but it's cleared by the Oxford defence. Saint-Maximin with some good defensive work. Now the ball hit forward again, and a nice ball there. And if it can get, no, it can't get Newcastle in down that far side, that near side. It was Bentaleb on the chase, but it's out of play anyway. Goal kick. Almiro, sorry, down the right hand side. Newcastle are a bit of a nightmare team to cover because of their red letters on the back of their shirts, black and white shirts, which doesn't help identification sometimes. League 1, Tranmere 0, Doncaster 3, that's a result. So Tranmere, another bad defeat for them after their 6-0 thrashing. As Oxford come forward, and the ball into the penalty area was a dangerous one. And a corner kick, is it? I'm sure it came off the goalkeeper last. It was a lovely bit of play this time on the far side. Holland got away from Shea, who was pulling his shirt. And it was Taylor right in there. I think it might have come off Taylor last. Then Darlow, then. Well, there you go. This is how the goal came at Anfield. They're just checking it out. Long ball forward from the left-hand side. And there's Williams to nod it over the goalkeeper. It was at the cop end, I believe. And that's cruel, cruel justice on Shrewsbury Town. Liverpool 1, Shrewsbury 0. And it looks as if it's Liverpool who may well be going to Chelsea in round number 5. Surely the tie of the round. Offside there. Against Almiron. Ball out of play anyway. And a goal kick. Full time at Derby. Derby 4, Northampton 2. And it's Derby versus Manchester United at Pride Park in round number 5. As Matty Longstaff comes forward. Sure, he was barged off the ball there. Of course he was. Free kick. I think there's much doubt about that. He hasn't had the best night, Peter Banks. The yellow card strictly out, quickly out there. Quarter of an hour left to play. It was late. Frustration here from the Oxford players. One can understand that. Kelly will go into the referee's notepad. Come on, as a second half substitute. So Liam Kelly will go into the referee's notebook now as we go to the final quarter of an hour. Don't forget your JB man of the match. Name of your player and then hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM plays. So whoever gets the most votes will win. Simple as that. Oxford 0, Newcastle 2, inside the final 14 minutes of proceedings. A little chipping there towards the penalty area. Appeals for offside. Gibbon. So a lot of ironic cheers around this compact little stadium. Built by their former owner, of course. Or named after one of their former owners, Kazam. He was a former owner, of course. I'm forgetting his first name. Of course, they had the old tight, compact manor ground for many, many years, Oxford. Which always used to have a slope on it, which gave it a bit more of an advantage. This ground now a bit more level. There's been an equaliser at Birmingham. Birmingham 1, Coventry 1. Harley Dean with a goal there at St Andrews. All the action, all the late dramas happening elsewhere, not in our commentary match tonight. This is ruffles now for Oxford. They've got 13 minutes plus stoppage time. to go. Can they find a guy through? Kelly now. Can he chip the ball into the penalty area? And almost the two substitutes combining. Holland tries the shot right-footed. Deflects away. Oxford might as well throw everything at it. The referee playing on. There's a Newcastle player down injured, but Oxford are playing on. And now, free kick. Well, the man who was injured a few moments ago, Almiron, suddenly got up. And then barged an Oxford player in the back. Well, that was ridiculous. Kelly was clearly fouled there by Almiron behind there. So Sean Longstaff has got a vote for man of the match from Russ Vernon. And he's hashtagged it JBMLTM, and you can do that the same yourself. And I have to say, he probably just deserves it. He's played really well tonight, Sean Longstaff. So too is his brother. 12 minutes to go then, plus stoppage time. Can Oxford find a couple of goals in that time? Kelly with a free kick. Into the penalty area he goes, towards the back post, and in came Taylor. It will be a corner kick for Oxford on the near side, the left-hand side. Last touch coming off Jamal Lascelles. We've got exactly now 11 minutes to play. Oxford need 2 goals in that time, plus to take it to extra time. Remember, we will go the distance here tonight. And if we do go to extra time, in the unlikely event we do, the man of the match vote will still count after 90 minutes. So just confirming the score on television on our monitors that Birmingham did equalise, and they're going to extra time at the moment as things stand at St Andrews. They're going to get half an hour more there in the second city tonight. Birmingham, the second city's only representative left. Of course, their rivals Aston Villa lost to Fulham in the third round, who in turn were thrashed quite comfortably 10 days ago in the fourth round by Manchester City. We go to Sheffield Wednesday. The winners go to West Bromwich Albion. And that's where Newcastle are 10 minutes away from doing. Remember, these games, fifth round games, are going to be played in midweek, which does not sit comfortably as well as a tradition. She should be played on a Saturday or a Sunday. I don't get the concept of that at all. Played in March as well. It's just ridiculous. What do the football authorities think they are doing? Trying to meddle about with the traditions of the FA Cup. Maybe have a third replay. Well, the days of third replays went about 25 years ago. Anyway, here come Oxford. They need 2 goals in 10 minutes to force an extra half an hour. And if they can do that, they've got every chance in the world. They've got all the substitutes are now on. And here is number 8 here, Brannigan. Brannigan keeps the ball in there. It's been a goal at Cardiff in extra time there. They went to extra time. Let me tell you that Murphy has just scored in the 3rd minute of extra time at the Cardiff City Stadium. That looks a really smashing game there. First game, of course, remembered for some sad racial abuse from the Cardiff City fans. It's the Welsh side in front. Murphy with the goal there. Oxford corner, left hand side into the penalty area it goes. Cleared away by Newcastle, then completed the clearance. The clearance, or rather, was completed by Saint-Maximin. He tried to look for Almiron. And now Saint-Maximin gets the break of the ball by mistake. Almiron has to check with the offside. Saint-Maximin's ball is a poor one, and it's well cut out by the Oxford defence. Now here comes Ruffles, number 3, down the near side now for Oxford. Still 2-0 in this FA Cup 4th round replay. The final round that replays can be decisive, because from the 5th round onwards, it has to be decided on the day or the night. Anyway, here comes Adji on the far side, a former Burnley youngster. Whips the ball in from the right hand side. Can he inspire a comeback for Oxford United, who have pulled off so many terrific shocks down the years? National League North, Altrincham 5, Telford United 2. It's gone to extra time at St Andrews. Probably a sparse crowd there tonight as well, between landlords and tenants. Here's Dan Hadji now, bursting forward, and he's making a terrific run, and surely he was fouled. Free kick, 25 yards from goal. Richie the offender, and Peter Banks keeps his cards in his pocket. I have to say Richie's a very lucky man not to have got booked, because that looked a tackle from behind. But Hadji making a bit of a difference since coming on. As I said, schooled at Burnley. Never got much of a chance under Sean Dyche, as Chris pointed out earlier. 7 minutes plus stoppage time to play. A goal here for Oxford could make things that wee bit interested. Remember what happened at Shrewsbury 10 days ago. Incidentally, Liverpool still leading in that replay, and it would be a sad way for Shrewsbury to bow out. For an unfortunate own goal, as I was sitting there on my monitor then. What can Kelly do here? It's 25 yards out, right of centre. It's probably going to be a right-footed drive, and it's going to be Kelly, right foot, over the wall, and it's gone in! And Oxford are back in the game. It's a tremendous free kick by Kelly. Liam Kelly has pulled one back for Oxford, and who knows now? We've got 6 minutes 10 seconds of normal time still to play, and Oxford, with that free kick there from Kelly, has given themselves a lifeline. Carl Darlow will be disappointed he didn't get a bit more of a hand on it. Should have saved it, really. But it's a terrific free kick from young Liam Kelly. And Newcastle, having been in such control for most of this second half, are now under a lot of extreme pressure, and this will give Oxford renewed confidence. They have got just over 5.5 minutes plus any stoppage time to find an equaliser and possibly take this to extra time. Well, certainly Dan Hadji's come on and made a difference. He's got a vote for man of the match, by the way. So one vote for the Newcastle player Longstaff. That's Sean Longstaff, and one for Dan Hadji. But here go Newcastle again. Into the area it goes, and it was Almiron, well denied by Eastwood. Almiron making the run forward, and then hitting the right-footed shot against the legs of Eastwood, and Oxford scrambling the ball away. Good save by the right leg of Eastwood. Is there a twist left in the tail here in this replay? If Oxford were to score again and there was no further scoring, we would have extra time, and it is absolutely squeaky bum time now for Newcastle. And here they come again with Sykes. Oxford are not giving up by any means. This is Long now on the near side, on the far side. He's got Ruffles on the near, just to the left of the centre circle. Gets the cross in. The ball deflects, and it's going to be another Oxford corner with nearly 4 minutes to go. Can they force a second goal? It would be amazing if they could do it. They have stayed in there. They've been frustrated at certain points tonight by refereeing decisions and the like. But could they force another goal out of this? Kelly will take the corner. His goal has breathed new life back into this tie. It's just about on the quadrant. Kelly in towards the near post, towards the back post. It's another corner because it came off the defender. So another corner it is for Oxford, this time on the far side, and Kelly again will take the corner. 3.5 minutes of normal time to play here at the Kazam Stadium. Oxford United 1, Newcastle United 2, and already 1 or 2 glum looks on those Newcastle fan spaces. Dickey's forward from the back, and then it goes towards Dickey, and the ball is bobbling around, and Darlow's got it. Darlow's got it. And I think there might have been a foul on the goalkeeper as well, and amongst all that as well. Dickey went for the ball inside the penalty area. 3 minutes to go. Newcastle not home and dry yet. Sean Longstaff has got a second vote for man of the match. He's leading 2 votes to 1. 1 vote for the ex-Burnley man Dan Hadji. Here's Eastwood with the kick. Long ball forward. Still anyone's game this. Still time left for Oxford to get an equaliser. But they've conceded a free kick midway inside their own half, and it was a silly foul on Almiron by Kelly, who's already been booked. And he'll do well not to speak out of turn here to referee Banks. And it looks as if he's been let off the hook here. In fact, it was a foul by Dickey rather than Kelly, but Kelly was in danger there of maybe talking himself into a second yellow and an ultimate red. Newcastle not making much of that free kick as the ball is headed back to Darlow. He should have done better on that free kick, and his clearance away wasn't the best either. There might have been a little bit of a foul there, but the referee decided to play on Banks. He's been consistent, but consistently poor. Meanwhile, here's Almiron. He's got Saint-Maximin over on the far side. They're being wildly booed every Newcastle player every time a Newcastle player touches the ball here from the Oxford faithful. And what a good play to play there by Saint-Maximin. Pulled back across and wide of the target. Inside the penalty area. And that was the game for Newcastle. I think it might have been Longstaff who's put the ball wide. In acres of space. Lovely play there by Saint-Maximin. And indeed it was Sean Longstaff with the left foot drive that goes wide, and that would have wrapped it up for Newcastle. Isaac Hayden about to come on and just shore things up a little bit at the back. We're inside the final minute, and now Miron is angering the locals here at the Kazan Stadium. I think he's the most popular man in Oxfordshire tonight. And if you could hear any language in the background from the supporters who are jeering Almiron, I do apologise. Anyway, here's Ruffles now for Oxford. Another goal here will send this to extra time. Let's not forget that Kelly just about finds Ruffles on the near side. A long ball forward, looking towards Holland, but he lost out this time. Now the ball comes towards Holland. Now there's a chance. A chance here as the ball goes in there. Dan Hadji's there at the far post. Here's Dan Hadji. They're keeping the ball really well, just as I say that then. But here's Sykes. Chip in there, but again, good resolute Newcastle defending. But wait a minute. Here's Brannigan. Brannigan ball in. Oh, now there's a chance there for Ruffles with the right foot, the side of the right foot. Carl Robinson puts his head in his hands. Down below me. Oh, there was extra time there and then. 4 added minutes. And Oxford so close to forcing an equaliser and possible extra time there. And just couldn't keep his side foot chopped down there, Ruffles. Darlow completely out of his ground, and he misses the right hand angle. And it was not much to spare, let me tell you. And we're into we've had 40 seconds in that 4 minutes, and it's certainly perked up the Oxford supporters all of a sudden. Again, that seemed to be heading towards a simple Newcastle win has turned into a very much a dramatic finish. Sean Longstaff has got the most votes, and he gets our man in the match, and he also gets the television man in the match as well. So a double success of some kind for Sean Longstaff tonight, and well deserved too. So he's our man in the match, JB man in the match, and he's also the television man in the match as well. Chose by Martin Keown, 3 times an FA Cup winner. Now then, what can Oxford cook up here towards the end of this game? One ball forward. We're into the 2nd minute of the 4. They get a throw-in on the near side, Oxford. Still 1-0 incidentally to Liverpool. Birmingham 1, Coventry 1, that's in extra time. You'll be able to find out on BBC later, once we come off air, what happens in those ties. Don't forget to tune in to Trevor Sports for his latest FA Cup video as well. Full-time whistle's gone, and I'm afraid Plucky Shrewsbury are out of the cup. Beaten by the Liverpool under-23 side 1-0, but boy, did they not deserve that one, Liverpool. They go to Chelsea in round 5. Derby are at home to Manchester United in round 5. They knocked out Northampton 4-2. Birmingham and Coventry in extra time. So too are Cardiff and Reading. Cardiff winning 3-2 at the moment in Wales. Free kick Oxford. We're into the final 90 seconds of the game. No stoppage time. Matty Longstaff with the foul. Inside the centre circle, inside the Newcastle half. Eastwood has been told by Carl Robinson to come forward for this free kick. They might as well go for it now. They've got nothing much else to lose. Here's the free kick. In it goes by Kelly towards the far side. Eastwood has stayed forward, and the ball brings around. And the boy, it's a goal! Holland! It's 2-2. With a minute to go, stoppage time. Oxford are pulling out the fire. And just listen to the noise. The right foot of Kelly has saved Oxford United for now in the FA Cup. And Steve Bruce cannot believe it. Oxford 2, Newcastle 2. Extra time beckons here at the Kazam Stadium. And they kept it alive, and what a volley! Right into the right-hand corner of the net. And the FA Cup again never ceases to amaze one. It's the FA Cup. I don't care whether you like it or love it. It's a gift that always keeps on giving, and surprises always keep on surprising. We've played the 4 minutes, and it's absolute bedlam here at the Kazam Stadium. And now, if you're a betting man, it's odds on extra time, and you think now Oxford are in the driving seat. Well, if it does go to extra time, we'll take a couple of minutes, and then we'll rejoin you for extra time. Carl Robinson has kicked every ball. Holland is now hobbling. And Newcastle now, we're deep into stoppage time as the ball is chipped forward here. And the whistle goes, and we will have extra time. Oh, you wouldn't have had a price on it some 10 minutes ago. Newcastle were 2 up and seemingly coasting with a goal by Longstaff and then a goal from Almiron, which put them into a 2-0 lead at half-time. But in the final 10 minutes, Oxford rallied superbly well. A free kick goal from Kelly, and then a terrific volley. Right foot by Holland has put it at 2-2. We're going to take a couple of minutes break while we get our breath back. Rejoin us for extra time in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Kazam Stadium. I just needed to take 5 minutes because this is going to be, we've got half an hour's extra time coming up. I've been at it for 2 hours straight now. And this game has never ceases to amaze one. It really doesn't. So 2-2. And these two sides, for one reason or another, cannot be separated. Steve Bruce, 10 minutes ago, thought his side were going sailing through to round 5. But what substitutions that Carl Robinson, and what passion he's showing out there. This is what the FA Cup was invented for some 138 years ago. We're also in extra time. Birmingham Coventry, Cardiff Reading, that's 3-2 to Cardiff, 1-1 in the Birmingham game. Derby are through, 4-2, they played Manchester United. Liverpool played Chelsea, they knocked out plucky Shrewsbury Town. And here it's 2-2 and we are going to extra time. And you know what I said some 15 minutes ago, folks? We haven't had any drama here. Well, we've had it in the last 10 minutes and more. This has been amazing. Well, we've got another half hour of this, and quite frankly, I'm pleased. And it's gone this far because it's been a terrific cup tie, and a credit to the FA Cup as Carl Robinson puts last minute instruction in Taylor's ear. But it's Kelly here whose introduction has really turned it around. A great free kick by him, Liam Kelly, and then that equaliser. It was a goal of pure genius from Holland. And now we have half an hour's more. Remember, it's 15 minutes each way. If it's level after 30 minutes of extra time, it will be a penalty shootout. So we've got 15 minutes either way to find a winner. Otherwise, it's penalties. Of course, man of the match will still stand at the end of 90 minutes. That, regardless of what the result is, Sean Longstaff gets that award. That can't be taken away. So it's all about the next 30 minutes now. Man of the match has been and gone. Remember, 15 minutes each way. If we can't find a winner in that half an hour, 15 minutes either way, remember, then we go to penalties. And I'll explain the rules, of course, for penalties if we get there. But right now it's extra time here at the Kazam Stadium. And quite frankly, you wouldn't have had a price on it some 10, 15 minutes ago. Half time and extra time at the Cardiff City Stadium, 3-2. So we're into overtime here, and here come Oxford, looking to try and win it again. This is Holland again. He's done well, and the goalkeeper got it. Hachi can't turn it in on a 6-yard line. Hachi again tries to turn inside the penalty area. It comes here to Brannigan, who shoots over with the left foot, and a goal kick to Newcastle. And Oxford starting extra time just at the end of the second half. Lovely trickery from the far side by Brown. Dan Hadji had a chance. Darlow made the save. Hadji tried to turn again. It came to Brannigan, who just couldn't keep his shot down. Wonderful play again by Holland. Goalkeeper didn't do well. Hadji should have scored there. Good block, I think, by Longstaff in all of that. Half time and extra time at St Andrews. Birmingham 1, Coventry 1. Here's Hadji again. Right hand side. Oxford now in the ascendancy, in the box seat. Here's a chance now. Long with the cross. Oh, he's hit it far too hard, and over the bar it sails, and a goal kick to Oxford. Oxford, incidentally, by the way, with 1 minute and 41 of extra time gone, attacking the goal to our right. My goodness me. I tell you, the FA Cup never ceases, never ever ceases to amaze one. It is the surprise gift that always keeps on giving. Here's Hadji now from the goal kick. Still 2-2. Oxford in possession, remember. Both teams have used substitutes. And what a turn that was there by Sykes on halfway on the right-hand side. And now Oxford keep possession. And now a chance again. It's that man again. It's Holland, who's having a tremendous last sort of 15 minutes or so. He's on a right purple patch here. This is what football is all about. Good cup tie football, great atmosphere, and beautiful drama to go with it. Here is Long in field. Good turn away. Oh, and Hadji almost got him behind, round the back again on the right hand side. Saint-Maximin turns away from one, goes towards the edge of the area, looks to hit it right footed, and it's a terrific shot. Right footed towards the left corner, but Eastwood diving away to his right. Made a smart save and then held onto the ball at the second attempt. 3 minutes gone in extra time. A chance apiece for either side, but it's still Oxford 2, Newcastle United 2. Puck and Shrewsbury have gone out the cup, beaten, but by no means disgraced tonight by Liverpool. Here come Oxford in possession. This has been an amazing turnabout. This is the beauty of cup football, and if people want to slag off the FA Cup, then tonight absolutely proves them completely and utterly wrong. Here's more for Oxford. On halfway, finds number 3 Ruffles, who had a chance to level it before the equaliser by Holland. 3 minutes 50 of extra time. Remember, 15 minutes each way. Oh, there's a chance. Oh, and that's just outside the box, I think. As Sykes went clean through there, Lejeune is through. Now, was it a denial of the goal scoring opportunity? I don't think it's going to be, because I think there might have been some covering Newcastle defenders here. There was 1 or 2 of them, in fact. I think Cher would have got back and covered, so I don't think it would have been a red card offence anyway. I think a yellow is about right for Lejeune. But it's definitely a free kick, because it was definitely outside the box. So following Lejeune goes into the referee's notepad. And Oxford here have another chance. And you know who's going to be behind this one here? Liam Kelly. He couldn't do it again, could he? Darlow will be quaking in his boots now. We're coming up towards the 5th minute of extra time played. Kelly's going to take it, I'm sure, right-footed. I think he might try and go near right-hand post with this. There are 5 Magpies in the wall. Also, number 9 Taylor here has also got a piece of it as well. So it's a 2-man committee. Right-hand side, edge of the area. Right-hand corner of the area. Now, can Kelly get it over the wall and into the back of the net? Or will it be Taylor with the left foot? The wall is not properly back behind the line, and Newcastle are trying to gain yardage here, which is not good. That's cheating in my book. They need to get behind Peter Banks' vanishing line. And it's Kelly with a free kick, right-footed, but over the bar this time. Goal kick to Newcastle United. Maybe the delay just put the pressure on Kelly a wee bit. Just couldn't repeat the trick this time again. It was a much more difficult free kick because it was a bit more closer in as it was before. I think you're allowed an extra substitution in half time, in extra time. It's been a long time since I've done this. There is substitutions. They can use an extra substitution, I think, in extra time. Russ, can you confirm that for me? I'm not sure about the ruling. Do you get extra time? It's 30 minutes, 15 minutes either way. So I think Lejeune has gone off and Clark's gone on. I think this is a 4th substitution. I think they get an extra substitution in extra time. Just check that for me, Russ. I think they get 1 extra substitution during the extra time period. So it's 30 minutes, 15 minutes either way, Robert. And we're into the first 6.5 of those. So we've got about 8.5 minutes of the first period to go. Still 2-2, incidentally, if you joined us late. Newcastle 2 up at half-time, and they were cruising to victory until the final 10 minutes when Oxford really got their act together and got it to 2-2, and that's why we're in extra time right now. 1 ball forward, and a few Newcastle fans are on there. If you've got any Oxford fans tuning in, let me know in the comments section, and I'll give you a shout out. You don't get an extra sub. All right, okay, Fanini. I'll take your word for it on that. Well, if Luke Caton's going to be in for a right surprise tomorrow night when he listens to this one back. You can make a substitution. Cardiff made a 4th sub, so is this a 4th sub? Thanks, Ross. Thank you for clearing that up. Panini, get back. You're supposed to be our VAR man. Stick to VAR. Anyway, here at the Oxford fans making a lot of noise, as you can hear in the background. It was the Toon Army making all the noise in the first half, but it's Oxford who are making all the noise. Winners go to West Brom in round 5. First game inexplicably finished goalless. They had so many chances both sides in that game up at St James's Park. But this has been another FA Cup classic. Here's Dan Adger, the former Burnley man. Right hand side. How it would be lovely if we could see him get the winning goal. There's a chance inside the area for Oxford. He still might break. Before it comes in from Holland, blocked away. Left-hand side of the penalty area, and well blocked again. And here go Oxford once more into the area. Oh, was there a case there for a penalty? No, there wasn't any great appeals actually. Ruffles. For a moment I thought Ruffles was fouled inside the area. No, Lascelles was just blocking him off. Fair enough. Here's Saint-Maximin. Over on the far side. Newcastle got a throw in, and it's at the other end now. Newcastle are taking the goal to our left. We're now halfway through the extra time. First period of extra time. Well, throw midway. Well, right on the line. Right in line on the far side with the edge of the Oxford 18-yard line, and that is a poor throw. And well, I don't envy BBC News right now. They've got to wait until the conclusion of the match. The game has actually been televised on terrestrial BBC. Anyway, it's an Oxford throw. We are live until the conclusion of this cup tie. Shrewsbury out of the cup, beaten cruelly by an own goal by Williams at Anfield tonight, and it was a cruel way to go out because they put up a brave fight, remembering that first game, and should have won that first game really, Shrewsbury, when you look back at it, but they've made a few bob out of it, and whatever happens, Sam Ricketts should be pleased with his troops tonight. It was their cup final tonight, and they didn't let anyone down despite the own goal. It's certainly Oxford's night tonight if they could play their cards right in extra time. We've got 5 minutes of the first period to go. And here is number 12 on the ball. This is Long. Touches back there to Dickey, who gets the ball back rather well there, and he finds Kelly, who's been here, there and everywhere since coming on as a substitute. He's found Moore. Back in field to Kelly, halfway inside his own half. It's Oxford 2, Newcastle 2, and Mark Croft, from all the way from Australia. Tell me whereabouts in Australia you are, and we'll give you a shout. We'll give the city you live in a shout out in Australia. Anyway, here come Oxford, forward again, but they lose possession. And Ruffles again wants possession once more. Good football again. Oxford asking some questions, and Holland is having plenty of good influence in there. Someone coming from Jamaica as well, so we're all coming to you around the world. That's something the BBC can't boast about tonight. Anyway, still Oxford 2, Newcastle 2, into the final 4 minutes of the first period of extra time. It's still 2-2, remember, but here come Newcastle now. It's Yedlin leading the counter-attack. He's got two to his left, and they completely messed that up, and now Newcastle, tired legs out there now, and Oxford now just walk the ball out of play. There's an injury, I think, to number 8 Brannigan, right on the far touchline, and there's going to be a change as Bentaleb and Atsu come on. Steve Abnew and Steve Bruce, and Atsu, who initially came to prominence at Everton, comes on, and at the moment we are odds on for a penalty competition. There's been an equaliser in the game. That Mate has just scored a third goal for Reading. What a game down at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's Cardiff City 3, Reading 3. Schalke have scored against Hertha Berlin in the second period of extra time in the German Cup. Wow. If cup ties were like what we're seeing at Cardiff and at Oxford, us football fans would die happy people, wouldn't we? Oxford's still alive in this competition. They were 2-0 down and seemingly out of it until the final 10 minutes of the second half, but they've stayed in it, and they felt they should have had a free kick there as one of their players was bundled down, but the referee deciding that it wasn't the case. And the crowd is quite rowdy now. We're going to see an Oxford substitution as well. And everybody that's taken part in a yellow shirt should be proud of the effort they've put in today, and the fans appreciate what they've done. Oxford making another substitution. There's a goal at commentary. Forney's about to come on, incidentally, number 22, and he replaces Brannigan, who's put in a real shift in that midfield area. There's been a goal, as I say, at St Andrews. It's Birmingham 1, Coventry 2, so I don't think the cup is going back to the second city this year. Queensland, Australia, Sunshine Coast, 5:30 in the morning. Well, good morning to you from Britain all the way over to Queensland. We go to the west, yes. Classic case of landlords against tenants, Chris. Right, we've got about a minute and 5 of the normal time as at the end of the first period of extra time. This is Saint-Maximin, left hand side, cuts inside, looks to get the shot off. It's Saint-Maximin into the area. Good save by Eastwood from point blank range. The ball's still not away yet, and it's almost pinball machine stuff in there. And in the end, it's been scrambled away, and a goal kick. Penalties to come at Cardiff. 3-3, it's finished after half an hour's extra time here. We're coming up towards the halfway mark of extra time, the half time in extra time period. As we just see the replay of Saint-Maximin's left-footed side foot, or right-footed side foot's well saved by the left knee of Eastwood. He missed countless opportunities in the first game, I remember, Saint-Maximin. Commentary, as I say, are leading 2-1 at Birmingham. Away at Birmingham, although they are the sort of the tenants at St Andrews these days, as they have got a dispute with the local council in Coventry, and they can't play at the what should be their rightful Ricoh Arena. Anyway, meanwhile here back at the Kazan Stadium, it's Saint-Maximin inside the area, tries to create half a yard of space to attempt to try and get a shot off. I'm still in work until 6 o'clock. Panini, what a comedian. Anyway, back to the game. We've got 1 minute of injury time, incidentally, at the end of the first half. Yedlin is onside, cuts inside into the area, tries an audacious attempt from the right hand side with his left foot, and he goes in, and a car park behind goalkeeper Eastwood's goal, and a goal kick. Well, they're going to be going back, and they'll be probably going back about 4 o'clock in the morning, these Newcastle fans. It's a long way down on a Wednesday night, but these Newcastle fans are absolutely, they love travelling away with their team. They are the most I have to say, they're some of the most passionate, most wonderful set of fans in the world. But at the moment it still remains 2-2. We'll stay for you. We've played the 1 minute, so we're going to stay on for extra for the turnaround, because it'll be a quick turnover, I would have thought. It's just a little bit quiet at the moment because it's Oxford United's fans, obviously, understandably making the noise. So they're just going to have a quick drinks break, swap round, and get on again. There's a View Cinema just behind that goal, and a Frankie and Benny's. So if we want a bite to eat afterwards, I think we know where we're going. Hopefully Frankie and Benny's will still be open. I wonder if they will be opening on a Tuesday night. Well, it's been a remarkable game. Still, remember, 2-2. We're staying with you now. And now it's all to play for. 15 minutes will be played. And Kenton says, thank you for doing this. I'm very pleased that I'm doing it for you. Still 2-2. And if I'm not ignoring everybody, I'm trying to do the commentary as well as read these things, and it's very difficult. Yes, hi to you. Okay, Face K, thank you. You don't have to say hi 6 times. I get you. Panini's getting paid to watch football at work. How good at that on a 12-hour shift? Right, they've had a bit of a swap round, guys. 2-2. It remains. Everyone stop saying hi. We've got to get on with the commentary, and I've got to get on with this game. But it's appreciated if you want to enjoy the commentary. Leave a like, press the subscribe, hit the notification bell by all means. Hello, Findlay. Well, Carl Robinson has got And there's one or two supporters now just climbing over the hoardings behind that empty side. The Newcastle fans are still there. Right. Let's stop the highs. Let's concentrate on the chat on the football, please. Come on. You've got 7 moderators on at any one, up to 7 moderators on at any one time. So let's cut all this out and let's just keep the talk about football. Russ and Panini and all that. So we're underway now in the second half. Newcastle are taking the goal to our right and straight away get a shot in through Yedlin, or Atsu rather. Right footed shot, left footed shot that goes just wide of the target. Yeah, it just curls wide a bit. Goal kick. Well, it's a corner in fact. In comes the corner, far side, into the area it goes. It'll come out here now for Longstaff. And Longstaff tries to chip the goalkeeper. And it's the other Longstaff, it's Matty Longstaff this time. If you are in front on the stream, please don't give away what the chances are going to come. Let me continue with the commentary, please. We've had a few problems before about this. So just let me continue with the commentary. Do not, if you are in front of everyone else on the stream, do not spoil it, please, for anyone else. Thank you very much. Oxford 2, Newcastle 2. We've played 1 minute and 10 of the second period of extra time. There's been an equaliser right in the last knock-ins here. Extra time at Birmingham. It's Birmingham 2, Coventry 2. Baylor with a goal there. But it's Oxford on the attack now. One ball forward towards Dan Adji, but he's been hassled out a bit there by Cher. Reading have gone through. Reading have gone through against Cardiff. So the Welsh interest is gone for this season's FA Cup. Cardiff are out. Reading winning quite comfortably in the end. 4-1 on penalties. Well done to Reading. They go through to the 5th round. Meanwhile, it looks like it's going to be a penalty shootout at Birmingham as well. Are we going to get a penalty shootout here at Oxford? It's still 2-2. We've got about 13 minutes of extra time plus stoppage time. Oxford, who never won the FA Cup, they have won the League Cup in 1986, and under the managership of Maurice Evans, who actually beat Jim Smith's QPR. Jim Smith, one of the former managers, of course, who sadly passed away at the end of last year. And I wonder if he's looking down on this Jim Smith. I'm thinking how proud he would be if he was watching this tonight. Anyway, here's Kelly, who's made such a difference since coming on as a substitute, but he was caught in possession there. And Newcastle now have a chance to come forward. Longstaff, that's Matty, that is. Well, into Atsu once again. Now now Matty Longstaff again. So Matty Longstaff, good turn. Gets it back. Good sensible play. One ball forward, but it's well cut out by Ruffles. He's been here, there and everywhere. This has been a game that has just lived up to the billing. How far they forward. The ball out of play and it's a throw in. They should have a second replay, but they're going to have penalties to decide it, and we'll let you know what happens in that penalty shootout as soon as, result-wise, as soon as we get there. Still a long way, still a little bit to go yet. There's about just under 12 minutes plus any stoppage time left, so there's still time for a goal to be scored from either side. But if there is to be a goal scored in the next 12 minutes, I've got a distinct feeling it could be a winning goal. Anyone's match, 2-2. We're coming up towards the final 11 minutes of extra time here. Remember, we'll stay with you for the duration of extra time and maybe penalties here. Might be a 2 and 3/4 hour programme, but we're enjoying everything. Been a real proper throwback FA Cup time with all the flavour and drama to go with it. Don't forget Trevor Sports and his version of the FA Cup. He's got Wolves and Chelsea playing off in a replay, and I'm going to tune in afterwards, so give Trevor Sports a try if you can. 2-2. Good cup tie this. Very enjoyable fair here at the Kazam Stadium. I'm tempted to say the Manor Ground, but it's been out of action for some 20 years now. The Manor Ground, it had that famous old slope, you may remember. And here they come again. And here's a chance with a shot, and it was again Sykes who's run himself completely down to the daft. Good throwback, sliding challenges, all sorts on the far side. It's almost as a throwback to the good old golden days of the 70s and 80s. Here's Yedlin into Attu, inside the Oxford half. Now Longstaff, over to the far side. Saint-Maximin into the area. Saint-Maximin tries to twist and turn and all sorts. Still, he has it. Still there. And Saint-Maximin goes to the near post. Well read at the near by Eastwood, who dives to his right and makes a marvellous save. And then grabs onto the ball at the second attempt. He has looked lively, Saint-Maximin, since coming on. Good right-footed drive, but Eastwood, in fairness, saw it well, got down quickly, and made a super save. 9 minutes of extra time to go. Still Oxford United 2, Newcastle United 2. In the FA Cup 4th round replays. They can't do away with replays like this. And the day they kill off replays for good in the FA Cup will be a sad day, because replays usually are better than the original time. Certainly been the case tonight. Here's Fawn, looking for Long, far side. I wouldn't mind a penalty shootout at this rate. Here's Adji now. And Fawn, good ball now. One for the ever energetic Sykes to chase. Oxford get a throw in line with the Newcastle penalty area. Clark, it came off. 2-2. JB Clark YouTube channel. Just to remind you who got the Man in the Match award, it was Sean Longstaff. 2 votes to 1. He also got the Television Award. Seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? The Man in the Match votes stay as they are. It's all about the next 8 minutes plus stoppage time and possibly a penalty shootout. Liverpool are through. They play Chelsea. The winners, of course, of this one will play West Bromwich Albion. And both sets of supporters making a lot of noise in this three-sided Kazam Stadium. Longstaff goes down. Free kick Newcastle far side. An extraordinary ending to this game. We've got a climax which is going to be tremendously frenetic in every possible way. It remains 2-2. But what a cup tie it has been. As I say, in every possible way. Saint-Maximin, Attu inside the area. Oh, he's tried to lay it off and has got it badly wrong. And it's a goal kick, thankfully, from an Oxford point of view, to Oxford. Steve Bruce cannot believe it. And Rotas making the case here, saying that Newcastle are playing good attacking football now, just lacking the quality in the final third to score. They were having no such problems. I think when Joe Linton had to come off with an injury, I think that's where the wheels started to come off here. And Chris sort of backs that up a bit, saying they've not been exactly prolific. I just took my battery last hour on my mobile phone. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be too surprised if it went to penalties. You won't see me complaining. I mean, we've covered penalties for a little while yet. I don't know. I don't think we've covered penalties yet this season in any cup tie we've covered. So it would be nice to see that happen. Here's a cross in from the penalty area. Oh, well dealt with there. It was Matty Longstaff playing the ball in. And Newcastle and Kelly, oh, what magnificence he shows on the ball. What coolness personified. It's Newcastle back in possession. Near side. And it's Sean Longstaff, our man in the match, who keeps it going. 2-2. 5.5 minutes of extra time to play. Plus any stoppage time. Saint-Maximin, who's looked very, very lively, takes on his man. Well tackled again, this time by Dickey. Edge of the area, the shot comes in, charged away. Desperate defending now from both sides. Lascelles, a mistake. And now, can Taylor profit? He goes down. Referee says no. And the ball comes away once more, and Taylor chases it again on that near side. Yeah, well, this is the FA Cup, and Newcastle fans of all people should know full well they were on the end of the most biggest giant killing of all time in 1972. Don't give the score away. Don't give anything away at the moment. Please keep any potential away. Oh, here's a chance. Here's a chance now. Can Sykes keep it going? Yeah, he's done well. He's kept possession. Kept it in the corners. Did really well, but then he's lost it. Now then, can Newcastle steal it in the last few seconds? We've got just over 4 minutes to go. Please don't give away anything. Here's a chance now in towards the penalty area. Saint-Maximin, who's looked lively. Saint-Maximin shot. It's into the right-hand corner. And Newcastle have broken Oxford United's hearts with 4 minutes of of extra time to go. And Oxford, who are putting such a brave effort to come back from the dead in this, looks as if it's all going to be in vain. There's news at Birmingham. I've got to bring you in a minute, but Newcastle have just taken the lead there. But don't give out the score before, if your stream is in front of ours. Let me do the commentary. Meanwhile, this is the shot, right-footed into the corner from Saint-Maximin, and that could book Newcastle's journey to the Black Country and to West Bromwich Albion in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Harsh on Oxford, but well played. But what a finish. We've seen some stunning goals tonight. And it's the Toon Army, who haven't won this famous old cup since 1955, since the days of War Jackie Milburn, who could well now be on their way to the 5th round. But West Brom is not going to be an easy trip for them now. But it's harsh on Oxford, who have played really well, but well, we were saying about the quality in the final third. Well, that was quality. Now, what Oxford have got left in the tank now, the way things have gone in the cup tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends another one here. The ball played into the area. Oh, for just for 1 second, I thought Adji's brought down his man, but he's been allowed to play on, has he? No, he hasn't. It is a free kick. Well, there's been some news at Birmingham. Birmingham have gone through 4-1, I think, on penalties. Let me just go back. Yeah. So Birmingham sneak through 4-1 on penalties. So Birmingham go through in the next round of the FA Cup. Still a little bit of time left in extra time. 2 minutes plus any added on time. We'll be coming off the air as soon as we're finished here at the Manor Ground, at the Kazan Stadium, I should say. But we've been at it now for 2.5 minutes and 2.5 hours, I should say. And I need to lie down. I think my battery will need charging up after this. Oh, wait a minute. Here's a chance for Taylor. Taylor. Oh, the header back to goalkeeper Darlow was a cool one. It may not be a giant killing tonight, but I tell you what, Oxford, to a man, have given a good account of themselves. Darlow with the kick. 2-3 now in favour of Newcastle. Oxford still not out of this yet. They proved in the last seconds of normal time in the second half that they could still pull something out of the fire, and they still could here. They've got a little bit of time left to go. 1 minute of normal time remains. Newcastle still leading 3-2. They've got a free kick. The Toon Army in full cry. 12th in the league, Premier League, leads 8th in League One by 3-2 here. Remember the first game, finished goalless, and he must be one of the most relieved men in the stadium, Mike Ashley, I tell you what. And 1 added minute to be added on at the end. Shearer, what's the score, is being heard. They know Alan Shearer's there, and he's a god in those parts up in the northeast. And with the likes of Supermac and War Jackie. There's Saint-Maximin. He's even trying the bunny up flick. We've seen it all here tonight at the Kazam Stadium. Who says cup ties like this aren't entertaining? 1 added minute, and we're into that. We're into the final 50 seconds here of extra time. Oxford haven't got time to waste. They have to get the ball forward as quickly as they possibly can. But Newcastle defending from the front, and that's good pressing from Steve Bruce's side. Ball will break kindly into the centre here for Taylor. Now the ball is with Fawn, and it's out with Kelly. Back to Fawn on halfway. He has to, might as well throw it into the penalty area. What they've got to lose now, Oxford. There were seconds of going out in normal time. Can they force something now? 15 seconds of extra time remaining. Oxford have a throw in. Level with the 6-yard box of Newcastle. This is going to be the last throw of the dice. Seconds remain here in extra time. Newcastle so close now. Yeah, Peter Banks going to be allowing it. It's going to be a throw in. Number 12 is going to take it long. It's going to have to be a very long throw. Can he cause problems? It's a long throw in the area. The goalkeeper's up again, trying to cause havoc inside that penalty area. Newcastle get it clear, and there's the whistle. Newcastle win an absolute thrilling FA Cup 4th round replay by 3 goals to 2. But my goodness, didn't Oxford make them work hard for it? Newcastle were 2 up and coasting after 45 minutes. Goals from Matty Longstaff, from Sean Longstaff and Almiron, or Joe Linton had made it 2-0. Then back came Oxford with Kelly and Holland. And then the winning goal, Saint-Maximin, that took it to extra time. And Saint-Maximin, 4 minutes from the end, has sent them through. And it's finished 3-2. Disappointment for Carl Robinson, of course. But let's have a look at the winning goal again. Saint-Maximin getting it out on the far side. Cuts inside, beats 2 men. Right foot, bang, into the right-hand corner. And what a finish. That was the winning goal. And from then on then, Oxford just couldn't come back a second time. But credit to Carl Robinson's side. They put in a splendid effort at the end, but it just wasn't enough. And we're going to hear from a couple of them now. They're talking with Ellie Barber. No, we're not actually. But what an atmosphere. I'm afraid we can't get the interview, the sound bites for the interview. But what I will say is, it's been a pleasure to bring this FA Cup tie to you. And this is why we enjoy the FA Cup. Here we are. We've got the sound bites now.
Very special goals, yours included in that. But how much spirit did the team have to show to come back in extra time, having been pegged back so late on?
Yeah, it was massive, I think. When it went 2-2, I think everybody in the stadium, probably everyone watching, thought we were going to crumble, but it just shows what we've got in the dressing room. We've got a great spirit, and like I said, we want to take the cup really seriously this year, and we've got to come to a place like this when it's tough, and like I said, it was a great response from us, and we're obviously happy to get through.
Well, congratulations, gents. You are the man of the match, Sean. If you could, there we go, perfect. Congratulations, gents.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, there we are. The pause for the players. They deserve that. But at the end of the day, what a game, what a match. I'm totally gone now. I'm going to leave it at that. But thank you very, very much for everyone that's tuned in. And I just want to leave you with this point from Mike Harniman, one of our moderators and commentators. Take it seriously. Yeah, unlike Liverpool when they play a lower league team, Newcastle did it the right way. And what a nice point. And what a good point in which to end. What a night. Oxford were dead and buried at 2-0. The last 10 minutes they rallied back to 2-2. And it looked as if we were hurtling towards penalties very quickly. But then Saint-Maximin, with a moment of pure genius, smashing it into the right-hand corner with his right foot, just outside the D, has won the game. Plucky Oxford gave it their all. And what a performance by them. But it's Newcastle who go through 3-2 winners. That's it for me. I'm absolutely knackered. I hope you all enjoyed it all. You can watch all the action from the other games on the BBC iPlayer. But for me, JB, for now, have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you for some more commentaries in the next few days. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed this challenge game and you want to hear more commentaries throughout the season, hit the subscribe button. And you'd like to subscribe, hit the subscription button. It costs you nothing to do that. And if you want notifications, please hit that notification bell as well. But thank you very much to everyone who's joined me tonight. Thank you very much. And it's been absolutely superb. And I hope you very much enjoyed our coverage of this 4th round FA Cup replay. It's a shame now, and that's the last we'll see of the replays in the FA Cup this season. A classic game, and this game will go down in the memory as regards FA Cup classics. From me, JB, enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.